giant seated at his aunt and uncle's breakfast table in Fairmount, Indiana, with a cigarette and the complete poetical works of James Whitcomb Riley. The Indiana poet was known for his humour, folksy vernacular, and children's verse. James Dean, a fellow Hoosier, lived on his relative's farm from the age of 9 on. This Dennis stock photograph was taken in February 1955. Dean died in a car crash at the end of September that same year. He could be reading Riley's The Days Gone By. I like that. Very natural picture. Hedy Lamarr. The subject of 3 biographies, a documentary and a graphic novel about her patented invention of the frequency hopping spread spectrum, was one of the biggest screen stars of the 1940s and early 50s. The Austrian-born beauty was signed to MGM, and there's a pair of the studio scripts on the bottom shelf of her nightstand. Sammy Davis Jr. Okay, it's a great picture. For his reading pleasure, Sammy Davis Jr. lounges with a paperback edition of Lloyd C. Douglas's mega-selling biblical epic, The Robe, originally published in 1942. The film version, starring Richard Burton and Gene Simmons, was released in 1953 in CinemaScope, the first film to be issued in the widescreen format. Davis starred in Anna Lucusta in 1958, Porky and Bess in 59, and then joined Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and his Rat Pack pals in The Ocean's 11 in 1960. Lauren Bacall. At the home she shares with Humphrey Bogart, the To Have Not and Big Sleep siren, Lauren Bacall rifles through a pictorial history of 20th century conflict open to the March of Aggression chapter. Robert Capper's iconic The Falling Soldier is among the spread of combat images visible. The other book next to Bacall is this 1946 photo. William Chaffer's Essential Marks and Monograms on Pottery and Porcelain. Sean Connery. Okay, what a great photo. I love these because they're really just natural. In early 1962, it was announced that Ian Fleming's espionage best-selling Dr. No was about to be filmed with a Scotsman, Sean Connery, as the British spy James Bond. A London photographer was quickly dispatched to the actor's Hampstead flat in London to capture the soon-to-be licensed-to-kill secret agent. Here Connery lounges on his sofa immersed in a book, maybe one of Fleming's. On the windowsill, Mr. 007's other titles include Lilith by George MacDonald, Marianne by Frederick Mullally, also known as Danse Macabre, and the complete works of Shakespeare. Rita Hayworth. Still sporting the platinum hairdo, Orson Welles insisted she have for 1947 The Lady from Shanghai. Rita Hayworth scans her library for a good read interests in The Three Faces of Eve. Joanne Woodward is well into the Dud Avocado. Elaine Dunder's debut novel, published that same year, about a young American on the loose in Paris. The book was an instant bestseller, oft reissued in the decades since, and counts Groucho Marx and more recently Greta Gerwig among its fans. Buster Keaton. The silent screen funny man turned talkie star turned sad-eyed character. Actors spent $300,000 in 1926, that's $4.3 million today, to build his Italian villa, inspired home in Beverly Hills. It was a place to sit by the fire with a compelling read, and to shoot his first talkie there too, the 1931's parlour, bedroom and bath. Cary Grant and James Mason would each later own and occupy Keaton's mansion. Oh, really? Not certain if it came with Keaton's library collection. Well, well, well. Rosalind Russell. Book-filled shelves, bleached mahogany wall and a generous fireplace lent charm and warmth to the den of Rosalind Russell's home in Beverly Hills. Reads the type-snipe on the back of this 1947 photo. In the four-time Oscar-nominated actress Hands, Goodnight, Sweet Prince, The Life and Times of John Barrymore. Author Jean Fowler's affectionate bio of another celebrated thespian. Leslie Caron. In 1955, French export Leslie Caron made two films for MGM. The Glass Slipper, a retelling of the Cinderella tale, and Gabby, a loose adaptation of Waterloo Bridge. This gorgeous photo of Caron with a modern library edition of William Faulkner's Absalom on her lap was taken in Caron's Laurel Canyon home to promote one of those films. Caron's Hollywood career was launched in 1951 when she starred and danced opposite Gene Kelly in America in Paris. Oh, that's where I know from. 2 years later, she was nominated for Best Actress Oscar for the title role in Lily. In 1958, another Best Actress nomination and a Golden Globe for Gigi. Oh, yes. In 2010, Caron published a memoir, Thank Heaven. Errol Flynn stops his library globe from spinning on the barbarous South Sea Islands where his 1946 adventure yarn Showdown takes place. The swashbuckling star wrote 3 books. 3 books over his career. Beam ends in 1936, the account of Flynn and 3 sailing buddies navigating the tricky Tasman Sea. Showdown, a ripping high seas yarn, and My Wicked, Wicked Ways with ghostwriter Earl Conrad, a memoir published posthumously in 1959. In between, he made a few pictures, well, you may have heard of The Adventures of Robin Hood, Captain Blood, The Dawn Patrol, The Sea Hawk, and They Died with Their Boots On, among them. He reminds me of somebody famous now. There she is, Marilyn Monroe. In her journey from the 20th century Fox contract player to the 20th century pop culture icon, Marilyn Monroe made a habit of having photographers capture her with a book in hand. Be it James Joyce's Ulysses or What You Can Do for Aegina Pectoris and Coronary Occlusion. Truly, that's what she's reading. In a 1948 bathing suit shot, Felicia's La La Land blonde, and clearly she wasn't. In 1999, Christie's auctioned over 400 books from Monroe's personal library, novels, classics, artists, monographs, history, biography, well, you name it. And the late star's journal entries, letters, poems, and notes reveal a deeply curious soul. In this 1951 photo, Monroe is curled up on her sofa bed with a copy of the poetry and prose of Heinrich Heine, an 874-page collection of the German Jewish lyric poet's writings in translation. And on the shelves and end tables, a Charlie Chaplin bio, Dürer and Michelangelo coffee table books, Tolstoy's War and Peace, Steinbeck's Tortilla Flats, Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises, Alan Barth's The Loyalty of Free Men, and Stanislavski's Building a Character, work-related. Also on a shelf, a small frame photograph of Arthur Miller, with whom she had recently commenced an affair. In 1956, the Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright and the 7-year-age sex symbol would marry. Joan Crawford. Nell Garrett's Cavalcade, J.P. Priestley's Dangerous Corner, Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest. Joan Crawford cozies up with Cliquet, her poodle, to sample some tasty morsels from the Modern Library Giant edition of 16 famous British plays. Complete and unabridged, Crawford's film career spans 6 decades, from the silent era to the noisy 1970 of sci-fi horror spectacle Trog. She authored 2 autobiographies, A Portrait of Joan in 1962 and My Way of Life in 1971. Orson Welles. In 1939, and Orson Welles, having already conquered stage, Broadway, Caesar, and radio, the Alien Invasion broadcast The War of the Worlds, that's fantastic, has headed west to the work on his first film. At his Brentwood home with a pipe and a copy of The History of Technology, Volume 3, From the Renaissance to the Industrial Revolution, Wells was plotting to bring Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness to the big screen, but RKO balked at the price of the ambitious project, and so Wells instead made his directing, writing, producing and starring in debut with a little something he called Citizen Kane. Wells's Heart of Darkness screenplay was only ever been performed once as a stage reading, and that was in 2012. Edward G. Robinson. It's a nice shot, captured in his Beverly Hills garden, enjoying a satisfying pipe and volume with a couple of backup titles stacked on that rustic twig bench. Edward G. Robinson had recently finished the 1936 Warner's crime drama Bullets or Ballots with Humphrey Bogart. Classic Robinson line from the gangster pick, I just want to thank you for the kick in the teeth. Known for his collection of French Impressionist art, Robinson was also an avid reader with a library full of first editions. His autobiography, All My Yesterdays, was published in 1973. Sophia Loren. In stripy pyjamas, Sophia Loren takes to her bed. Her bedtime reading, that is. The Italian actress was in London in 1956 for the production of the World War II drama The Key, in she would star in with John Wayne the following year. Okay, lovely picture. Audrey Hepburn. In 1953, while shooting Sabrina at Paramount Studios, Audrey Hepburn rented an apartment in Beverly Hills, an apartment with shag carpeting, a flamingo bedspread and a tray for her breakfast. Barefoot and bestriped, the leading lady with the title role as chauffeur's daughter, caught between Humphrey Bogart and William Holden, posed for an at-home and on-the-job series that photographer Mark Shaw took for Life magazine. A caption for the piece notes, "While eating, she often reads classical drama with heavy helpings of Shaw and Shakespeare." A few years down the line, Hepburn would play a New York bookshop clerk who falls into an affair and into some great dance numbers with Fred Astaire in Funny Face. I'll just flip back there. I will go back to the intro, but that pop quiz relates to what's the name of the bookshop where Audrey Hepburn employed in Funny Face. Acme Bookshop, Burgundy Bookstore, Amber Concerts, Flourish and Blocks to shop around the corner. You may have seen the answer, but if not, as I said, I'm going to read this intro in a 5-minute video where we'll include the answer. Do you know which one it is? Ava Marie Saint lounges with a copy of Charlotte Steiner's picture book. Kiki is an actress. Oh, of course. Saint, of course, is an actress too. By the time this photo was taken in 1958, she had transitioned from the roles in television in New York to making her big screen debut opposite Marlon Brando in On the Waterfront. The result, a Best Supporting Actress Oscar. Key roles in A Handful of Rain and Raintree County followed, and in 1959 she'd be sealing the presidential foreheads of Mount Rushmore with Cary Grant in Hitchcock's North by Northwest. Jack Benny. Vaudevillian turned radio star turned film funny man and soon-to-be TV icon is captured at home in a candid shot with 4-year-old daughter, Joan. Paramount released the publicity photo to promote his 1939 romantic comedy Man About Town, in which Benny courts Dorothy Lamour and liaises with Benny Barnes and Betty Grable too. The 1935 heavy linen Whitman edition of Walt Disney's Donald Duck, a story written and illustrated by the staff of the Walt Disney Studios. Oh, that's cool. Featuring the sailor-hatted mallard and a couple of rodents by the name of Mickey and Minnie. Now it goes for more than $300 on antiquarian book sites and eBay. I would have thought more, to be honest, but the famous spendthrift Benny would have appreciated that. That's a nice picture. Robert Young. Munro's Leave Fair Play, a primer about citizenship, selflessness and getting along, is poured over by MGM star Robert Young. And daughters Carol Ann and Barbara in the family's San Fernando's Valley home. A steady as he goes screen star, Young seeked television in the late 1950s, applying his real-life parenting skills to the hit family sitcom Father Knows Best. A decade later, he applied his medical skills, Young, and numerous position roles as far back as 1931 in the popular drama Marcus Welby, MD. Cassavetes and Gina Rowlands were both working steadily in the TV in the early 1960s. Study baby animals. The Garth Williams picture book with their baby, toddler Nick Cassavetes. He would follow in his parents' footsteps, acting and directing, and Cassavetes Sr. would direct Rowlands in 9 independent improvisational gems, including the 1968 Faces, 1974 A Woman Under the Influence, and 1980s Gloria. Just while I'm reading this, I think I'm going to find something about the film The Graduate to record for you. Anyway, I'll keep posted on that. It's a terrific shot. Marlon Brando. Gosh. In his day. Trading his character's wheelchair for a piece of porch furniture, Marlon Brando, all of 25 years old, takes time with a book between the scenes of his screen debut, the 1950 wound effects drama The Men. Fresh from the New York stage and Stella Adler's acting classes, Brando was cast as a Bud Willisek, an army lieutenant paralysed from the waist down in the World War II. Fred Zinnemann's film tracks Bud's struggles to shake off a killing depression and begin life anew with a woman who loves him, played by Teresa Wright. Brando spent the months leading up to the production of the Veterans Administration Hospital in the Van Nuys, learning to manoeuvre a wheelchair, use leg braces and crutches, and befriending the paraplegics and quadriplegics in his 32-bed ward. The actor's sophomore effort, A Streetcar Named Desire, and Best Actor nomination. 2 consecutive Best Actor nominations followed, and then in 1955, Brando won the Academy Award for his stormy portrayal of prize-fighter turned dog worker Terry Malloy in On the Waterfront. Joan Collins. On the set of the 1958 western The Bravados, the cowboy-hatted, cowboy-booted Joan Collins is deep into Thomas Wolfe's delirious doorstop of a classic. You Can't Go Home Again. This gross at Universal Library paperback edition clocks in at 743 pages. Beginning with Past Imperfect, a 1978 autobiography, the English actress would join Woolf on library shelves. Her 18 titles included memoirs, novels, and beauty and health books. The actress's sister, of course, was best-selling scribe Jackie Collins. Betty Davis. Outfitted in fashionable riding gear, Warner star Betty Davis keeps her reading materials secret beneath a gilt library dust jacket, the back of which features an ad for modern-day 1930s brand of Rosicrucianism. Explore your mind screams the invitation to try out the centuries-old spiritual business, discover your mental health and overcome your limitations. The Rosicrucian Brotherhood copy goes on. Miss Davis's career spanned 7 decades with 2 Oscars and some of the most memorable screen performances of all time. In December 1938, the New York Times reported that Davis's husband, Herman Oscar Nelson, wanted a divorce. His complaint: Davis read too much. He usually just sat there while his wife read to an unnecessary degree. I think we've got time for another. actress who would go on to garner accolades and awards in films including Hamlet, The Robe, Guys and Dolls, Elmer Gantry and Spartacus, opens Dora Adelot's family saga, Run of the Stars. Simmons, who was shooting the 1947's The Woman in the Hall outside of London, waits for the SAG Sagwagon, immersed in the novel by the Oklahoman writer whose slightly better known prairie fictions include Full Harvest and Trumpets Calling. I love that sign, Pinewood Studios, 2 miles. Well, let's do one more, and then we'll do the second half in another video. So, Dennis Hopper, with a book that provides its own photo caption. That's a great shot. Breaks between scenes of Nicholas Bay's seminal teen angst drama, Rebel Without a Cause. The actor in the early days of a career that would head well into the aughts worked with James Dean in both 1955's Rebel Without a Cause and the following year's Giant. Perched atop a ledge at the Griffith Park Observatory, Hopper homes in on an exercise in Konstantin Stanislavski's An Actor Prepares. Both Hopper and Dean were die-hard practitioners of the method, a system of acting formulated by the early 20th century acting guru. Wow. Okay, well, I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. I apologise if I'm repeating a few bits again, but it was a book that I wanted to go back over and dive in a little bit further. So, we'll definitely continue in the next video. Let's have a little peek who we're continuing with. Who's it going to be? Oh, we're going to continue with the wonderful Grace Kelly. Just wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me in this quiet time together in our safe place. Please do take care of yourself.